Hello, everybody. To those of you that are joining, I'm not sure how everything's going to actually go, so I just want to warn everybody up front. Things are acting up really strangely on my end. I'm using a lot of CPU power, and I don't know why. And so I'm not sure how tonight is going to go. So, no promises. I'm going to try and stream as long as I can. I'm going to try and talk to you guys for a while here, but if things start seeming glitchy here, I apologize. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I did install recently my new Stream Deck, and I have this cool little feature on it that shows me how much CPU I'm using, and I'm like in the 90% range right now, which is extremely unhealthy for a computer. So I'm not sure if I may be thermal throttling or what exactly is going on. But for the moment, YouTube is showing that I'm healthy. I don't know what you guys are seeing. But hello to everybody that has joined us so far. Let me zoom in real quick. I can't really see. I don't have my glasses on here. Okay, my apologies about the audio. I was actually accidentally taking audio from both my camera and the microphone here, so it was probably a little bit echoing. So my apologies there. Welcome, Carol Davis, Sue Lynn, Amanda Nading. Good to have you guys here. Thanks for joining us. This is a little bit of a impromptu late night stream, just kind of checking in here. Haven't done a stream in a little while, and I've been having some weird issues like this where my computer's just taking up weird amount of resources, and that's why the last time that I tried to stream from the command center here, it ended up not working, and I just streamed that little intro screen for a little while and then quit. Hey there, Scott Lee. Welcome. Yeah, so I've been having some strange problems. Maybe just a sign that I need to upgrade here pretty soon. I've been thinking about it for a while and thinking of some strategies here for upgrading the command center equipment and the streaming equipment, the editing equipment, everything, and technology-wise in terms of what we have here at the command center and what we're using to make all of the episodes over on 539, as well as do the streaming here on the Mystery Channel. So I don't know, maybe it's just a sign of the times. I don't know. Pretty much everything else is new. I mean, we got a brand new monitor, brand new setup here audio-wise, brand new audio board, brand new Stream Deck, brand new keyboard, brand new mouse. It might just be a sign that I need to update the core of the system and be done with it. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. As for the moment, it looks like we're still mid-80s. It's not healthy at all. But we are taking a lot out on the system right now. It is piping video through USB and then has all kinds of different attachments hooked up right now, including obviously another USB audio board here, and then the Stream Deck, and yeah. So I don't know. We'll see we'll see how it goes. But again, might just be a time for upgrade. But I had contemplated upgrading, because I use an iMac currently, and I had contemplated just upgrading the memory in it, which is a little bit of a process to do, and would definitely make a great episode for the second channel here, but I just wasn't quite sure if I really wanted to razor blade the monitor off and attempt to upgrade the RAM. So I don't know. It's one of those things where you wonder if the effort is really worth it, or whether you should just wait for a little bit and upgrade the computer altogether. So I don't know. But I guess it brings up an interesting thought in that I've been trying to think of different content to put on the channel anyway, so maybe it's a thought to give it a shot just for the heck of it. But it'd be kind of an interesting conclusion to everything if for some reason I lost the use of the computer that I was going to edit the video on, which I was using to create the video by tearing apart and upgrading the RAM. So I don't really know. It's kind of a weird dilemma. It would potentially extend the life of the computer though, so maybe it's worth it. I don't know. I mean, it's not like it's something that I'm not comfortable with, having had professional experience in computers for quite a while now. It's something that I can definitely handle, but one of those things, it's just one of those systems that you don't look forward to working on. So, but how are we doing? Still pegged at 92% CPU usage. It's not looking good, folks. I don't know how the video is looking for you. I hope that everything is clear and smooth. I don't know how the audio is either. I think that I've kind of solved most of the audio issues. I know the one night we were kind of having issues where even if I was just like a few inches away, it started to die out significantly. And so any fidgeting that I did whatsoever made it sort of almost silent. So I don't know. But thanks everybody for joining in. Sounds good. Excellent. Good to hear. Yeah, it's kind of a touchy mic. It's a condenser microphone, so it's sort of something that's intended more for not necessarily singing. It is a vocal mic, but it's intended for sort of a sit-down environment and maybe like a radio type setting. But it is a professional microphone to a certain extent, an entry-level professional for sure. But definitely a decent microphone, so I don't want to do any injustice to the microphone. Awesome, good to hear. Yeah, as always, love the Australian audience, as the rest of you out there from wherever you are from. But yeah, would love to make it down to Australia one of these days. Always been wanting to make it down there since probably elementary school. I've been wanting to like take a vacation to Australia. So one of those places I've been like studying and I don't know, sort of just. Whoop. I hope that I'm still streaming, guys. My browser crashed, so I can't see the chat anymore. Hold on, I'm going to reload the chat here. According to my OBS, I'm still going, though. So my apologies. I hope there's no interruptions in the broadcast, but I'm going to reload my chat here real quick, so I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, this could be an issue. I think I might know a way to fix it. Again, my apologies. I was kind of aware going into the stream that this might be an issue, and so yeah, it was just sort of a risk that I took. Oh, whoops! Now we're advertising. Apparently, I have the latest Firefox. Probably shouldn't be doing this on Firefox. It's probably not to like hate on Firefox or anything. Oh wow, it loaded me right back into chat, but now I'm getting all the old chats. Alright, hold on just a second. Okay, so a lot of the old chats just loaded. I have no idea if it's still live though. So if somebody can maybe send me some sort of ping here and say that it's still alive. I did get just a ton of chats recently, but I'm not sure if they were from like while it was crashing or what's going on. But somebody did say that they can still see me, so. Okay, it looks like I'm still live, and it looks like the chat window loaded perfectly. I wasn't expecting it actually to reload back to the chat window. I thought it would just send me back to the default Firefox screen, so that was actually really lucky. All right. Well, welcome back. I guess I'm welcoming myself back, I guess, because I'm the only one that's rejoining the chat at this point. Yeah. Thanks for sticking with me at the very least, guys. I appreciate your patience. I know this is not going as smoothly as it should be. Hey there, Emmy. Welcome. So, yeah, as far as updates on the channel, I think I did tweet out a couple days ago that I was thinking about doing maybe a little bit of a bigger trip here in the next few weeks at least, and I'm still thinking about doing that. Probably going to be going into Ohio for a little bit, more central Ohio, and then staying there for a day or two. So I'll be updating everybody on that as time comes, but I'm not sure exactly where. Maybe Toledo, I'm thinking. I want to go to Cleveland at some point too, so that's an idea. But yeah, I've got a few different ideas in the works here, including Louisville too. I know I've been talking about that for a while, and I still haven't gone down to Louisville and did any filming there, and I really want to get to that too. But yeah, I just been... I don't know. I've been having a real dilemma on which direction to choose. I don't know why. I don't know that there's any real logic to any of it, but I just can't figure out which way to go. And that's sort of that's where we are right now. Awesome, Sue. Well, I'm glad that I can distract you from the office or work day that you're going through right now. I don't know what kind of work you do, but it's always good to have some entertainment while you're at work. But yeah, so just sort of pondering which direction to go next. I have been doing a lot of local travel. Got another episode coming out over on 539 in the morning here at, I believe, 10 a.m., 10 or 11. I can't remember which one I scheduled it for, but it's either at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the United States. So if you have to do the math to convert, that is the time zone that I am in. I'm in Eastern Standard again in the United States. So if, again, you want to convert that over to your local time, that is the way to do it. You can use Google and convert that, and it is pretty simple. Hey there, Debbie. Welcome to the live stream. But yeah, so a new episode tomorrow, or today, depending on where you are. Just turned midnight for me, so I guess it's technically today. I don't know if that counts. Some of you, sort of like me, sort of only count it when you wake up. It's still tomorrow if you haven't fell asleep yet, I feel like. And in some ways, maybe. Unless you stay up all night. But, yeah, maybe we're just splitting hairs. But anyway, new episode. And then the next episode will be coming out Saturday. And then a new one either Sunday or Monday. I don't know. I guess it just really depends. I'm kind of open for comments on that. I do try to do a full weekend, but as it's summer now, it's a little bit easier on the schedule, and so I'm open to ideas. If it's easier to do like an every other day sort of episode, and if putting an episode out twice, or excuse me, 2 episodes out over 2 days is sort of like overwhelming, I am willing to work with people on that. And again, so like I said, as it's a little bit more flexible during the summer, yeah, we can maybe rearrange things a little bit, but it just really depends on if it's something really important to you guys. The camera zooming, that's it's an iPhone thing. It's my iPhone. It will randomly try to refocus, and as it does, it sort of zooms in a little bit and then zooms out. I don't know what the deal is with that. It's a little bit exaggerated, but I'm not sure. But yeah, welcome everybody to the live stream. I'm not sure if I welcomed everybody. Looks like we had Janetta, welcome. Matthew, welcome. Debbie, of course, welcome. Manya's here. I don't know if I ever said hi to you. If I did, we'll just say hi again. But anyway, yeah, thanks for joining us here tonight. But yeah, glad to have you all here. Hi there, Carol. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, if any of you had any questions on the travels, on the questions on the videos, anything like that that you wanted to bring up, any topics that you wanted to talk about, let me know. Again, I don't know how long this is going to last. I am having a little bit of some technical issues. I don't know, again, if it's a sign of the times and I need to just upgrade the computer equipment here, but it is kind of pegging out on the power end of the scale, so I don't really know. Oh, on leaving the streams up, I have been trying on a lot of the streams to leave them up. It just really depends. Sometimes if I feel like a lot of people aren't watching it by a certain point, I will erase it. But if I feel like it's something that people are wanting to watch, I will try to keep it up for a while. So that's just sort of my rule of thumb. I just kind of look at how many people have watched it within the first 24 hours, and if I feel like it's something that people find interesting, then I'll just keep it up. So, if it's like, I see like, out of the 1,000 subs, only like 100 or so people have watched it, I feel like it's probably not worth it, so then I just erase it. Or if it's something that's incredibly long, then after a certain amount of days, I'll just take it down. But I will try to still leave it up, even if it's incredibly long, as long as people find it interesting and they're watching it. So, yeah, it's just up to you guys, really, is how I kind of leave it on that end. Thank you, Matthew. Yeah, that was one of my favorites that I found recently as well. Kind of one of the more sad locations too, just because of some of the stuff that was there. But in terms of like the fencing and the location and everything, it just added up to one of those really, really interesting locations and one of those places I really love to go. Yeah, I like finding stuff like that. And again, it was a really cool surprise because I've had it mapped out for quite a while, and I thought there was only I forgot. I actually cut that part out, but I had said on the way there that I thought there was 10 or less graves, and then I cut that part out of the video because it was taking so long to get to that point. I had been kind of rambling on a little bit, and so I decided to edit it out. And yeah, when I was doing the research on it, I really thought I said 10 or less when I was filming, but honestly, I thought there was probably going to be 5 or less headstones, period. And so when I got there and it was actually the size it was and just kind of small space, I was really surprised and kind of just happy to have found it. And then it turned out to be the location of the sort of the defunct Sunday school. And even though the building wasn't there, it sort of turned into a type of abandoned location, because in a way it really was, because some people used to come there for a very specific purpose, which was to go to Sunday school, and that's just no longer there anymore. And so I thought it was really cool. And one of those things that, again, if you stick to the big city locations, if you stick to the huge locations, which again, not sending any shade towards any of my friends that do those locations, those are really amazing and awesome too, but anymore I just love doing this, where you go out in the middle of the country and you find something that a lot of people have never ever seen before, and that you didn't even really know existed. So I really find it fun, and I think it's kind of interesting in terms of how it's taking the journey that it's taken the channel on. Thank you, Manya. Sorry, I'm squinting a little bit. I'm not wearing my glasses tonight. Sometimes I really don't like wearing them. I always loved wearing like sunglasses, and then after a while, the sunglasses would give me a headache, and so it's kind of the same thing with my regular glasses. So sometimes I try to just deal without them for a little while, just to give myself a break. Which I don't even know where they are, honestly. Yeah, I haven't live streamed in a little while. It's just been a weird set of events between uh, having some issues. I bought brand new equipment to try and stream from the road again so that I wouldn't have the shaky video, and again, it just proved that it was going to be shaky no matter what, and so I had to just kill the live stream. And then, obviously, I think it was slightly before that. I can't remember if I tried after that too, but yeah, I had that issue with the power on the computer, and it just sort of not streaming well at all, just being really glitchy, and yeah, it's been sort of building up here for a while. A lot of times it will randomly throughout the stream start the audio will start becoming out of sync with the video, so I don't really know. Yeah, I actually was in Iowa last year for a very short period of time. I did intend to actually stop and film at a pioneer graveyard that was on my way. I think it was right off of I-80. And so, yeah, I ended up not doing it. I was sort of in a hurry to get to California, and then by the time that I was heading back, my driver's license was expiring, so it was like then I had to rush back, and so I put it off, thinking that I would be coming back earlier, and then it ended up that, yeah, I was rushing back and couldn't do it. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to be making it back that way, and I'm going to be probably heading back to California and heading back to, at the very least, heading back to Nevada here pretty soon, so I can do some more collaborations with Cryptid Hunter and possibly Michael Scott, two ghost hunters out on the West Coast, sort of. Obviously, Xavier is from Las Vegas, and Michael Scott is from California. So might head out to Vegas and then go together with Xavier out to California and do some cool locations out there. So actually, that's the first I've ever said anything about that, so you guys are the first to hear about that. So I'm really excited about that. Looking forward to getting together with somebody new, as well as doing it at the same time as getting together with somebody that we've already known and loved on the channel, and a great friend of mine, Xavier from Cryptid Hunter. So I'm really excited about that potential collaboration coming up here in the near future. That is a very good idea, Matthew. Yeah. I have done some things before, very sort of light research, but haven't done anything too incredibly in depth, besides maybe the haunted Devil's Hollow witch urban legend that I did a while ago. I think that's been about two years ago, I want to say. And I did some research sort of like that, where we did like a deep dive into an urban legend surrounding a real person who had passed away and was buried in a local graveyard. And so I did a 2-part series, I think. No, it might have been a 3-part, because I think I did a daytime introduction series to the urban legend, and then I did a nighttime explorer, where since it was a nighttime legend where you're supposed to come there at night and experience these paranormal happenings, and so we went back there at night and did like a sort of 3 a.m. challenge, I guess, if you will. And then we went to the actual graveyard in the 3rd part of the series and visited the real grave of the person who the urban legend was about. So, and it was the person who supposedly was this witch, who the teenagers in this local town burnt down her house. I mean, well, I'm sorry for everybody's medical issues. Looks like Emmy's having a migraine. Yeah, I get migraines as well. Those are horrible. So I feel for you there. Yeah, I wish I could do more at night. Around here, it's kind of frowned upon, and they will do away with you pretty quickly. But if I find a location that I can get away with it and it's not bothering anybody, then I'll do it. I've done it a couple times, but not really recently. Wow, that is quite a story. Yeah, I occasionally find the Civil War vets who passed away in battle. So, yeah, it's always a tragic event when something like that happens. Hey there, Trixie. Welcome. Good to have you. Yes, I did get my hair cut. I also bought some hair color, too, which I already had some. I was originally going to add some, like, I can't remember exactly what color it was. Sort of like a purplish color, but last night I went ahead and purchased some sort of like evergreen color, so I'm gonna probably try that here over the next few days. So probably gonna be going to green here fairly shortly. Hey there, John. Welcome. Good to have you. Thanks for joining the late night stream here. I do enjoy the blue. I will admit it's a bit of a difficult color, and I'm thinking that green is going to be equally as difficult, so I'm not sure exactly how it's going to go, but we're going to try it. I do color it myself, although I will say that the more I do it, even though I'm not bad at it, the more I kind of regret it. I feel like at a certain point here, I'm going to start doing it professionally only. I don't really think that I'm doing the best job, although I don't really think I'm doing a bad job either. Purple is a cool color. Yeah, I was thinking of going purple. Actually, when I was at the store purchasing the green, I found another shade of purple that I really wanted to do instead. Probably would have been cool to mix the two together a little bit and see how it came out in sort of a multifaceted sort of purplish tones. But yeah, I've never done the green before, and so I figured that would be the best bet for right now. So at least I can see what it looks like, get the feel of it, see if it's something that I like. Jet black, yeah, I do that actually a lot. I've done jet black, I've done blue black, I've done a purple toned black, and then I've done like a flat type black as well. And yeah, I'm a fan of the blacks, especially the blue black is my favorite to do. And it's something I usually default on, but recently I found a really cool midnight blue, and it's really close to black, but in the right color you can tell that it's like a navy blue, and that's sort of taken over as my go-to. But it's been a while because I've been trying to do some of the brighter stuff that I hadn't had a chance to try in the past. But at a certain point here, I'm going to go back to those colors too. So I'll probably be doing, after the green, I'll be doing some darker colors again. I did black for years, and a lot of people said that I looked like Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day. And even before I did YouTube, I caught a few people like filming me at places, and a few people like ran up to me in like the local mall and asked if I was Billy Joe Armstrong. But yeah, I do love the black. I think it's a cool color. Again, it has been my go-to color for probably about the last decade, if not more. It's definitely you'll see it more and more. It's been more odd that it hasn't been on the channel, because it's been such a huge part of my life. And at one time, like some friends of mine, and jokingly called some of us was the black hair mafia, because we were just constantly buying black hair dye, because like there was like a group of like 3 or 4 of us back in the day that we were all friends, and we all just loved the black hair dye, and so we were constantly black, and then it became a running joke, I guess. But yeah, it's kind of almost weird that it hasn't been on the channel more. But if you look way back, I want to say, I'm trying to think of the last time, because when I went to California, it was dark, but it was dark blue. So I want to say it's been at least 2 years since it's been black, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I want to say, since I've had any videos with black hair on the channel, it's been at least 2 years. The star tattoo on my hand. Yes, I do have one. I'm not sure exactly what you want answered about it. I can talk about it. It is just a punk rock star. PND stands for Punk's Not Dead. There is a running sort of thought in some of the circles of old punk rock stars that punk rock is completely dead, and that there's no form of living punk rock that is true punk rock. And so I've just always been one of those people that sort of thought that idea was ridiculous, and that, you know, the thought that any one star or any one band member could ever declare an entire genre of music dead is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. So I just, yeah, that's what the star is about. But yeah, there's quite a few old 1970s, not to hate on any of them at all. Obviously they put in their time and made some amazing music, but at the same time, to think that for anybody, I think, to think that they're that special to declare the music just dead is kind of weird. I don't know. I don't find that. It rubs me the wrong way. So, yeah, I thought it was important enough to me, especially since I was into music so hardcore as a teenager, and then got into a band myself and wrote my own music and performed my own music, and would love to do it again here one of these days soon. And yeah, it just was something that was very important to me back in the day, and it was enough that I wanted to put it on me for everybody to see. So it's not as big of a part of my life as it used to be in a sense. To me, personally, it is, obviously. And as well as tattoo culture, I've been pretty open about that here on the second channel, that I support alternative culture, not only as music culture, but as sort of as a lifestyle. I feel like that music culture and tattoo culture is transformed and very much into a world culture and American culture, and so yeah, I've always been a big proponent of that. And yeah, So that's sort of the story surrounding all of that. Emo might be dead. Yeah. Emo will only die because emo killed it. Because that's what they want. Not really. No, I'm just saying that to be sarcastic. But no, I like emo. It's okay. People always call me emo. I was always like, but I never had like there was the hairstyles in the early 2000s and late 90s, and like the people who sort of subscribed to that idea being like emo kids would have like the really long sort of hair that a lot of times at least that would fall in the front of their face, and I always had like the short like spiked hair that was always sort of associated with punk rock in a way, and people would always call me an emo kid just because I had tattoos and colored my hair, and I was like, what about emo kid? Don't you understand that I don't look anything like that? And so I don't understand. But yeah, I think to the outside world, emo and punk, and it's all sort of the same thing. So yeah, obviously to anybody that lives it, everybody knows that everybody lives their own sort of little flavor of it, and that each thing is a little bit different. To be a huge hardcore metal fan is slightly different from being a huge hardcore punk fan, and it's slightly different from being a huge hardcore emo fan. But at the same time, like there's a lot of people that also are fans of multiple, and yeah, I mean it's a difficult subject to sort of differentiate because so many people subscribe to so many different, but at the same time, a lot of people are pretty easily distinguishable. And I always felt that I was fairly easily distinguishable as at least a 90s style sort of punk rock type of person, and sort of weird there for about 4 years I got called emo, but I think that was just because emo was so big that everybody just called everybody emo. But anyway, sorry. I think I'm sort of going off on a tangent about that. Yeah, I'm sort of hypocritical even in talking about that, because recently my hair has gotten so long that it would have absolutely qualified as sort of like emo hair back in the early 2000s when it was really super big. But I've noticed a lot of the old emo bands, they're still around. I don't even know that they even call them. I suppose maybe sometimes, especially in live shows, but like, was it? I think didn't My Chemical Romance came out with a new song recently, I believe, and then some of them that were sort of emo are still around. Like Panic at the Disco is still around, which I mean, anybody can argue about how that goes because that band's story is so strange in terms of bands, but I don't know. But I don't know. Like, there's a lot of them. What was there was a big Ohio band, the Hawthorne Heights. I never hear about them anymore. I have no idea if they're still around. I remember seeing them once in concert, but I went to see, who was it? I can't remember. Anyway, do I like the band Ghost? I've never actually heard of Ghost. I can't remember. Maybe I've listened to the music and I just didn't know that that was the band. Some of the bands I find that I miss out on. But yeah, I guess that answers your question. I mean, I guess I would call Hawthorne Heights emo. I don't know. It was one of those weird. I think Hawthorne Heights would have called themselves hardcore, though. That's what they ascribed to. Was that Midwest hardcore, the sort of emo with screaming, even though there was screamo. But I think Hawthorne Heights would have called themselves hardcore. So I honestly can't tell you the difference between hardcore and screamo, because I feel like a lot of it's the same thing. But I think a lot of true hardcore people would say that there's only yelling and screaming in hardcore and not any actual singing. So I really don't know. I was never big into that scene. I will just say that. Although I did like some of the bands that sort of had the mix. I didn't find Hawthorne Heights. I wasn't the biggest fan, but I didn't think that they were terrible either. Oh yeah, I do remember My Chemical Romance opening for Green Day, which was odd because I didn't see the Green Day on the American Idiot tour. I actually saw Green Day on the 2005 live tour, and so I missed out, and I was really angry about that because I would have loved to have seen My Chemical Romance. Even though, again, like I really never really was into the emo scene at all, but I loved their music in the sense of the sheer theatrics of it all, and um, yeah, I thought it was really interesting and very artistic, and um, yeah, I thought it was really cool that they went on tour together. Yeah, I saw Green Day with, oh my god, wow, I'm blanking right now. There was two different bands. None of them were big, and they might still be around. I shouldn't say their names now, even if I could remember. Wow, why can't I not? Because I only went to see Green Day, but then there was two other pretty famous bands. One of the bands was sort of like one of those almost one-hit wonders. I don't know. I can't think of it right now. I'll have to think about that and get back with you guys. But yeah, I can't remember who they toured with that time. Because I actually hung out with them for a little while. Because they were all out smoking by the tour bus, and we were all hanging out with them and talking to them. Oh, yeah, no, that was Jimmy Eat World. I forgot about that. It was Jimmy Eat World, but then the other band was the because there was like those weird bands that were like famous for like just like one song or two, sort of like Teenage Dirtbag from Wheatus. Actually they had two songs. I think I don't want to hate on them. I love the Wheatus, but what was the other? There was another Wheatus song too. Sorry if I'm getting too 90s for you guys. Yeah. So yeah, I actually hung out with Jimmy Eat World for a while, um, long before I was ever into rock photography. Why does YouTube hate me right now? It keeps flagging comments that aren't. Oh, I see. Sex Pistols. YouTube is not seeing pistols and associating. Okay. Lots of bands in the 80s disbanded. Oh, like broke up. Yeah, oh yeah. For sure. I feel like 90s bands for some reason just never broke up. Like every once in a while. Like Harvey Danger like broke up. But like some of them just have more of a cult following after the 90s. And they're still around. They still make music. It's just that nobody hears of them. Yeah, I'm going to have to look up Ghost. I feel like I've looked that up before. Maybe that's been... hold on, let me pull the label off. Bow down before the YouTube gods. But I feel like maybe somebody mentioned that in the stream once and I looked it up. I do have my stream deck hooked up, so now we can do weird things. I can control the stream. So I can mute the sound all of a sudden, and I can, just in case I need to like cough or something, or and I can randomly kill the video now. Let's see if it works. Oh, it's not working tonight. I don't know why it's not working. Anyway, I might have to reassign that button, but I have the logos on buttons too now, so I can just randomly pop up the 539 or the My Story logos and make them go away whenever I want. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the setup the way it is or keep working on it a little bit, organize it a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, thank you, Matt. Yeah, I appreciate that. Oh, no, absolutely. I grew up with Linkin Park, and yeah, I remember the day that I heard about Chester Bennington passing away. And yeah, it's a sad thing, and especially it's a big problem all across the board, but especially in the music world. Suicide's such a horrible epidemic, and yeah, one of those rough ones for sure. And yeah, I think he is definitely gonna go down in history, much like many of the other rock stars that have gone out the same way, and it's just unfortunate that it had to happen that way. But yeah, I think again he will always be celebrated for the part that he played in rock and roll history. And I think that like him or not, you can at least agree that he will go down in rock and roll history. Lead singer of Static X. Yes, I actually have met and photographed him. And yeah, that was very sad. That was, I believe, the first rock star that I've ever had the chance of meeting and photographing that has ever passed away. And yeah, that was a very tragic event too. Yeah, it's always sad. Yeah, I think it might. I don't remember how he passed away. I don't. Well, You know what? I don't know. I'll let you guys look that up. I'm not gonna speculate on something and say something that might not be true and bring some shade to somebody that doesn't deserve it. Very interesting guy, though. A lot of his fans didn't know his age. Yeah, his age was actually 10 years older than what he claimed, and so a lot of people didn't realize how old he was. He had a very young looking face, and so he got away with claiming to be 10 years younger for many, many years during his career, and was a very interesting person. Incredibly down-to-earth in person, too. Almost to the point that it was just... He was almost like not uncomfortable, like very nice, but like he was like nice in the sense of like somebody you would run into at the supermarket and say hi to, like like he was not he wasn't uppity in any way. He didn't act famous. Thanks for joining us, Sue. You have a good rest of your day. Thanks for taking the time out of your work day to come and hang out. But yeah, there's been some incredibly unfortunate losses in the music industry recently, and I mean, it's sort of steady, it happens. Between natural and obviously unnatural events, which sort of follow a lot of rock stars. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but a lot of people, I think even a lot of rock stars say it themselves, sometimes what makes a really good rock star is having a really good story, and sometimes having a really good story is not exactly good for having a really good life. And although it makes amazing music, it's not necessarily something where you're in the right state of mind all of the time. Otherwise, you would just have a Disney album, you know. The albums are dark for a reason. The songs are gritty for a reason. And they're a lot of times because these people lived through it, you know. And living through that type of stuff is not easy. And I will tell you, from meeting the hundreds of rock stars that I've met, being on tour is hard. It is rough. And if a lot of people are like, you know, hey, go get a job, go work 40 hours a week. And these people are working a lot of times 80 hours, 100 hours a week, sleeping a couple hours on a tour bus, getting up, doing mic checks, doing practice, doing pre-runs of the entire concert, and then going out, performing on stage, hopping on a tour bus, traveling to the next tour or to the next town, only to do it all again. These people are working more than 40 hours a week. And just because they get to play music doesn't necessarily mean that what they're doing isn't incredibly hard. And so, it speaks volumes to, what a lot of these people eventually go through. Yeah. And, they're very honest about it, A lot of bands, will straight up tell you that, There's a few straight edge bands out there. And I can only imagine it's probably pretty tough. But then again, I don't think anybody's truly, in that sense, straight edge. If you're not doing that stuff, you're probably living on caffeine. You're probably, living on something else. It's not normal to live a tour schedule. But yeah, it's sort of like a Band-Aid, Yeah, I mean, they do it all for different reasons. Some of them are doing it to survive the road. Some of them are doing it to hide from their past. Some of them are doing it because they think that that's just what rock stars do, and it's it has different consequences. I've never actually heard the no caffeine thing, because I've known a lot of straight edgers, honestly, in my day. I've never actually heard them describe themselves as no caffeine, unless that's something new. In my day, it was just no drugs, no booze. Meaning, when I was in my late teens, early 20s, that was what straight edge meant. That's a whole different problem altogether. Or maybe a non-problem. I guess it's good to be regular. Well, I'm surprised we made it this far. It's still claiming to be pegged at about 90% system resources. As I'm moving my bottle here and examining how quickly it's refreshing on my OBS, it seems to be fairly okay and in sync. I don't know on your guys' ends. I have it pretty small, so that it's not taking up system resources. But I appreciate you all for hanging out. Thanks for coming by. Yeah. Again, a little bit of an impromptu stream that I've been trying to get to for a really long time. I keep talking about ramping things up on the second channel, and one thing or the other happens, and it keeps putting a damper on things. Do I drink coffee in the mornings? Sometimes. It just depends on the morning. Thank you, Matthew. Yeah, I've just been kind of frustrated that some of the other streams haven't been working, and I had a really cool intro stream, it again today. I think that was some of the problem last time, but today again it was pegging the system resources for whatever reason, which all it was doing was playing a video and then streaming that video. So I don't know. It kind of makes sense, but it kind of doesn't make sense. I don't really know. Some of it might be a heat thing. I might need to, I don't know, figure something out to make sure the system is not overheating and thermal throttling. That's awesome, Matthew. I appreciate that. Welcome, Bronx boy. Good to have you. Girl in the curl, welcome. You can't see the chat and me at the same time. Sorry for the issues. I don't know why that's happening, but at any rate, I appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, I usually try to stay on for at least a few hours. What are we going now? We're at 58 minutes right now. So just about to pass the 1 hour mark. But I don't know exactly what's going to be happening this time. Again, I might not be the one making the choice this time. If the computer decides to thermal throttle here, it may all of a sudden kill itself. So I don't really know. The last, well, excuse me, not the last time. Just here earlier, it crashed the entire computer. Or not the entire computer. Wow. The browser, I mean. Oh, I see. Someone else's computer and settings, and yeah. Sorry to hear. Yeah, almost 1 a.m. here too. Yep. Sunday night live chats. That is that's a possibility. I did actually do Sunday night live streams for a while. I mean, it's just been a while since I have been sort of more in a habit of doing it. But yeah, Sunday usually does work out pretty well schedule-wise, just because, especially with the recent uploads being mostly on the weekends, getting the Saturday upload, then the Sunday upload in the mornings, and then having the live stream at night really kind of had I feel like a nice effect in terms of spreading the content out enough, but still making it frequent enough that it didn't feel like we were taking huge gaps in between. So I don't know. But with the summer here, I don't know, I might make it a little bit more random. But yeah, I'll probably try to do some more weekend streams here. The last one might have been on a Sunday. I'm not sure. That sounds right, though. Yeah, I just had an energy drink myself. I usually prefer the coffee, but I decided to go with the energy drink tonight. A little bit of coffee earlier has, I feel like, a slightly different effect. Not necessarily in a good way, though, honestly. I feel like the energy drinks make me a little bit more shaky. Oh, but yeah, I did a, this kind of, I think I should open up a browser window because technically, although it's just a painting, sort of, I don't know exactly what medium it was made on, but it is somebody's intellectual property. Although I know they're okay with me having it as a desktop, I'm not necessarily going to show it so that I don't get it like a copyright strike or something oddly. But I did recently set up so that we could do the desktop really easy too. Let me see. We'll see. Since the last one didn't work, let's see if this works. Hey there, Ellen. Welcome. Okay, yeah. So now we can do that, although I need to add in, I was going to add in the picture-in-picture so that I'm still on stream when I do the desktop, but yeah, another cool feature that I can do from the Stream Deck. I need to actually somehow get the Stream Deck on the stream so I can show you guys, because it's fully customizable. I actually have my own logos on it, so when I hit the buttons for like putting my logos on the screen, I'm actually hitting my logos on the keyboard. Each little key is a tiny little LED screen. I guess I can't even take a picture of it. I could probably take a picture of it with my tablet, wherever that is. I don't know. Maybe here in a minute, when I decide to take a break here for a minute, I'll try and take a photo of it. But if you guys really want to see it, I do have images of it. You know what? Hold on. Hold on. Let me switch back here for a second. Okay. What I'm going to do is go to Twitter, and then I can share the desktop with you guys and show you what the Stream Deck looks like in case you haven't seen it yet. Okay. So I'll go to my profile here. Yeah, it's actually true, Mania. I had a friend of mine that actually had a heart attack because they drank too many energy drinks. They didn't die. They're still here. But, yeah, it is a real danger. So, yeah, it doesn't really affect me as much. Water is definitely the best. Oh my gosh. Wow. Hope that squeak didn't go through the microphone to all of you guys. I apologize. Especially if there's any headphones users out there. Alright, let's switch over to the desktop here real quick. This is what I'm talking about and literally what I'm using to show you guys this. So this is from Twitter. If you guys haven't followed me over on twitter.com/MattIsaac, make sure to follow me over there. And we do lots of updates about the upcoming episodes over on 539 and the Mystery Channel, as well as just general conversation. So if if anybody's interested, make sure to follow me over there. But this is the stream deck that I'm currently using. This is not the scene that I'm using right now, so you can't see all my stream controls, but you can kind of get an idea for what I'm talking about, as in each individual key is its own screen and can be changed to whichever icon you want it to be, including your own custom icons. I can load literally anything onto it. I actually really want to do like a Brady Bunch thing. I want to get like 14 other YouTubers that can do various poses on it, and then I could be like in the middle, and it'd be like the Brady Bunch thing, and then have like a soundboard so that they could do like it wouldn't make any real sense. It literally would just be for comedy purposes only. But yeah, that's my idea. So, but yeah, at any rate, that's the new equipment that I just installed. This is literally the first time I've ever had the chance to even use it at all. So yeah. Really convenient though, gives lots of options. I can do soundboards, eventually can use it to do effects in the stream, especially if I switch over and do, what is it, Streamlabs I think it is. They allow the different on-screen events to happen when people follow or subscribe or whatever, and so if I switch over to that, I can do like I think I can trigger different events with it. I'm not sure exactly all what I can do. I'm going to have to keep experimenting with it. Yeah, I've had a couple different people who have gone with me over the years. I had my friend Adam that did a lot of videos with me, and then my friend James that did a few videos with me, and it was always my channel, but it was just one of those things where they really did help me out. I definitely want to give credit where credit's due. They put a lot of effort into things as well, but had other things that they were working towards as well. James currently, as far as I know, I'm not sure exactly if it's his full-time work right now or not, but I know he does horror films, including a film that was recently made around a location that we explored together, and that was on the channel on 539 Productions, and it is now a horror movie. I actually have never seen it. I believe it's just called Kingsbury, and it is literally partially filmed by the person in the episode that is on my channel. So, but yeah, in terms of that, yeah, I don't have any partners. The channel's always been my channel. I started the channel back in 2015 by myself and have maintained control of the channel since then, but have had various people who have come on and spent a decent amount of time. And at one time, we were thinking of doing sort of a collaborative channel together with me and Adam, but that just didn't end up working out. I think we both had different visions of where he wanted to take it, and then of course Adam had his own career as well that he was working on in marketing, and so he took that route and decided to use his college degree, and I can't I can't blame him for that one at all. So yeah. Yeah, I also did a few episodes with my dad in Kentucky, too. I did a episode on a ghost town there, a coal mining ghost town that he actually used to live in. Oh yes, the car wreck video. Yeah, yeah. Our car slid off the road and into a power, a telephone pole or power line pole or whatever it is. Oh, they have the yeah. I have heard that story before about um the emergency bell for people that had been buried alive. And I even heard a very strange case of somebody having a telephone and literally I don't know if it was the family or if it was their will that paid for it, excuse me. But they had a fully functioning telephone with an actual phone number for many, many years after they had passed. So that in case, well, actually, I'll take that back. I don't know if it was for many, many years. For a certain time period after they had passed, they paid to have a telephone line that in case that they were to wake up, they could call for help, which is really creepy. Thank you, Matthew. I really appreciate that. Yeah, we might be doing some more here soon. I am planning a trip down to Tennessee and Kentucky here pretty soon. Down to the part that I was in before. I also will be doing a separate trip to Louisville here at some point in the near future. I need to look that up. I actually have not seen any of the Hollywood Graveyard stuff, and I need to check that out sometime. Yeah, it is one way of putting it, Bronx Boy. Yeah, very, very long distance. Yeah, I've heard that name pop up a few times. I don't know why that I've never actually seen their channel. But, I mean, YouTube is a pretty diverse place. It's easy to get lost. I would love to come to New Jersey. It's been a while since I've been out east. I've been to quite a few different states out east. I know that I've never stopped. I know I've been through New Jersey shortly. I haven't really spent any significant time there. I've been in New York City. I spent lots of time in Maryland. I spent time in Virginia. Yeah, it's one of those places I need to come and spend a little bit of time and actually do some real exploring. And that's actually one of my goals this year is to hit up a lot of the areas that I've missed out on. I definitely want to get back to some of the areas that I've been before on the channel and get together with some of the people. Like I was saying earlier in the live stream that I wanted to get together with Xavier from Cryptid Hunter and then get together with Michael Scott. But at the same time, I also want to go out to some of the places that I've really never been before. Especially like in the New England area. I've had a lot of states that I've missed. There's some Midwest states that I've missed, like the Dakotas would be some really good areas to go to. Even like the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, I've been there, but it's been so long. I've never been there for the channel, and that would be something that would be really interesting to do. So I don't know. There's a lot of things I have just sort of floating around. Yes, I love searching different terms that could mean multiple different things. Actually, last night I was doing like some deep diving, somewhat for research and somewhat for just for pleasure. But I was doing some research into different videos relating to the Matrix movies, and I found some pretty interesting stuff online. Oddly, mostly, I find that a lot of motivational speakers use the Matrix as like a metaphor for life. And so like every single video that you watch that says how to escape the Matrix is really just a motivational speaker talking about how to break free of the natural tendencies that we get into in life. So I feel like I've watched way too many motivational speakers in the last 24 hours for no particular reason. Yeah, I love the history very much, and I would love to get to some areas that have a lot more older history that's researchable. My area has a lot of ancient history, but it's been pretty much buried, and it's almost impossible to find. Like the Native American mounds are about the only thing. Colorado, yes. I intended to do some filming in Colorado the last time I was there, but I unfortunately was not able to do it. I actually don't currently have any band, so any music from here forward will be just released under my name or under this channel probably. Back in the day, I was part of a band known as the Sons of Liberty, although there are several bands called that, so anything that you would find now online is not the band that I was in. And so, like, if you look it up, that's not me. I don't know anything about their music, and I won't vouch for it. I think that they're a rock band, but somebody did send me an angry message once. I don't know if it's the same band, but they did send me an angry message claiming like that they completely, basically saying that they own the rights to which they did not legally own the rights. They were just basically saying like, hey, we feel like we called that name and you should name yourself something else. But I think that we oddly had started first, so I could never figure out why in the world they had the audacity to message me and tell me that I needed to change my name because they wanted to use it. So I don't know. It was kind of a weird situation. But again, I don't know if that's even the same people. And that may be a completely different one. Awesome, Debbie. Yeah, I will be keeping everybody up to date on when that happens. I don't know. Probably in the next few months. That's awesome. Awesome, Matthew. I'll have to check that out sometime. A band named Jinx from Carol? I don't know. That doesn't sound familiar. Yeah, I was never really good at band names. So, again, it might have been just one of those things that I just forgot, and that I've listened to a lot of their music. I don't really know. Awesome. Yeah, I'll check that out here in a little bit. Do I think I'll do more paranormal stuff? In terms of doing more videos with people that are like ghost hunters, yeah, absolutely. In terms of like doing any sort of ghost hunting on my own, I don't really know. Thanks for joining us, Ellen. You have a good night. I really appreciate it. Years and years ago, I used to do some ghost hunting. Yeah, I haven't really done any ghost hunting except for a little tiny snippet here on the 539 channel where I did like a series of haunted bridges and I tried a brief amount of EVPs. And I did get some interesting results, but at the same time, it's not really ever been my thing on YouTube. Although, as a part of the sort of adventure travel realm, I feel like that it fits pretty well into that. So, like, in terms of getting together with people and trying things out, seeing what happens, I'm completely open for that. And we'll continue to do that into the future. And yeah, I mean, like I said, that's just pretty much the gist of it. I don't have any real intention of bulking up on any ghost hunting gear or anything like that. The plants are doing pretty well. A few of them haven't been doing as well. I've had some bad luck with a couple of the waffle plants that I had and a couple of the succulents, but overall, most things are doing really well. All the recent, I don't know, recently I got some aloe plants. I think 100% of those have survived. I've got way too many aloe plants right now. I've repotted one of my philodendrons, and that's doing really well. And actually, I just took a cutting from it and hung it up in the background here on the vertical rooting station that I created there. And yeah, I mean, everything's growing quite well. In terms of paranormal, I don't really take any stance either way. If something weird happens, then I'll definitely share it. But yeah, I don't really make any judgment calls on anything. With me, it's not really about that. I just kind of go with the flow. It's just it's fun. It's fun to speculate. It's fun to think about. And it's a side of not necessarily a side of, I guess you could call it a side of travel. It's not exactly travel, but it's again, I just feel like it fits into the adventure travel sort of theme, and as part of the series, and again as part of just my relationship that I have with other people. Some of it's a mixture of both. You know, I have people that do very similar content. I have people that do kind of similar content, and we're all friends, and so we like to work together and get together and hang out, and so yeah, if it's a little bit different from mine, I think it's kind of great because, again, it introduces them to my audience, and again, me to their audience, and so people who might be primarily into paranormal might get a chance to see something that's not so paranormal, but that they might enjoy as well. And people that are into my content might see something paranormal and decide that that's what they like too. So it's just sort of a collaborative effort across channels. But I really enjoy working with the other people. It's again, it's fun to meet other people that do things similar to what you do, and so it's something that will continue to happen across the 539 and the Mystery Channel as well here in the future. So yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to see how the year and where the year takes us. Have I ever had a for real experience with a spirit? You know, I don't really know how to judge that. I've had some definitely really, really strange experiences. Some of them may be able to be considered spiritual in a sense. Other people might consider it to be some sort of interdimensional thing, and then some people might consider it to be just pure and utter coincidence that just happened for no reason whatsoever. I don't really know. I just know I've had some weird experiences in my life, and I like to share them. In terms of, again, the paranormal, honestly, I find it exciting to look into anything. It may be, depending on the locations, it may be completely and utterly fake. It may not be anything at all happening there, or there might be something strange happening. You never really know. It's difficult to tell. No worries, Debbie. But yeah, I know that's not a real answer, but I guess the best answer I could probably give is sort of. I've had some very, very weird things that were probably unexplainable, that I haven't had a explanation for ever. And yeah, but again, I mean, nothing came through and said, "Hey, I'm a ghost," or "Hey, I used to be alive." I mean, I take that back. There were some experiences that we had with, like, doing, like, Ouija boards and stuff back in the day where things supposedly would claim, but then again, there's definitely the evidence against some of those things, at the very least, that they can be manipulated in certain circumstances, so. Ate cop cars while eating a sandwich. Wow. That does sound pretty exciting. Yeah, absolutely. It's not my experiences are definitely no secret. I've talked about them from time to time on the channel, maybe not really often. I used to be in a car club for quite a few years. I always say I was in a car club. I was one of the founders of a car club, a very large car club, and our odd pastime was to go to these abandoned or haunted places and do, like, ghost hunting and stuff. And so we would go there with different sort of EMF meters and, like, Ouija boards, and yeah, and we would see what we could find. So we had different experiences. A couple people claimed to have some not possession in the sense of being, like, possessed by, like, a demon, but, like, being, like, shown different images from a different time and place. Some people had some physical experiences where they were thrown around. We'd had some physical experiences with some like doors and things would slam or be very, very hard to open. We caught a lot of EVPs. A few people saw, like, visible orbs, and a lot of audio, or a lot of things that you could just hear happening, whether it was the sounds of footsteps or voices or things like that, or and then there were some people that claimed to see shadow figures and things like that too. This is more around a central location, an abandoned school. A lot of these were. We had a few special spots that we continued to visit over and over again. And so lots of strange things happen, but being fairly young and not necessarily doing it in the best way possible, I cannot vouch for the validity of anything that we found, but there were definitely some overwhelmingly strange. We had a couple times where things would come through on the radio, and the entire radio would just cut out, and it would come through with just hissing, whispering voices, and it would never last long. It would just be like a second or two and have a few words, but it would just say weird things. Like, literally, the radio cut out once and said death. Could have been a prank. Could have been somebody messing with us. I don't know. I don't know how you make a whole radio station die in a car and then have words come out. But things did happen. I definitely can't deny that some weird, crazy things happen. What is my Zodiac sign? I have actually no idea. I'm an October baby, so whatever that is. Hey there, Kenneth. Welcome. Good to have you. I'm trying to think if I've ever had anything else. I've tried to find a few of the old videos that we did, because some of them did have weird EVPs and stuff on them, but I have not been able to get a hold of it yet. But yeah, you know, it was one of those things when I started the channel. I always had a passion for strange things like that, but overwhelmingly I wanted the channel to have the overtones of travel. I wanted it to be about the travel, about the locations, even though sometimes I don't really necessarily talk about where I am, which is something that I'm trying to change a little bit. I do want it to be about the idea of finding adventurous, out of the way, different locations and checking them out. And, you know, it's not necessarily about graveyards or abandoned places or battlefields or historic locations. It's about all of it. It's about history, it's about adventure, it's about life, it's about, you know, all this. And so I don't know, I feel like I don't want to pigeonhole the channel at all. But yeah, so yeah, that's some of the reason that I never went hardcore into the ghost hunting, and honestly, ghost hunting videos have never really done well on my channel to begin with. I think people have always, again, not that there's anything wrong with the ghost hunting channels, but a lot of people that come to my channel like the fact that I do the graveyards occasionally, only as historic locations and not as a sort of paranormal research type location. And so I find that there's a lot of people that, although they enjoy the ghost hunting, are looking for that alternative view of places like this, and looking for these videos that don't necessarily presume to be searching for anything, that either the people can go and do their own sort of investigation by watching the videos, or they don't necessarily choose to really like that sort of content. And so I've actually found that it is way more popular on my channel when I don't do the ghost hunting. Good night, Bronx Boy. Appreciate you coming and hanging out with us tonight. But again, as I said many times, including a few different times in this live stream, that's not in any way to bring any shade to paranormal researchers. It's just to say that I'm gonna continue to do what I do and definitely work with them, but at the same time, I'm not gonna change my content to be that for sure. So, I hope that answers everything. But yeah, there will be more paranormal stuff on the channel for sure. And I'm always looking for different sort of adventure travel locations and themes and things to try out. And so there's a few other things that we're going to be experimenting around here probably over the next few weeks to see if it works out well on the channel. I realize now that I'm looking a lot straightforward, and I have my camera once again way over here. So my apologies that I'm pretty much not looking into the camera at all tonight. But thanks again for being here, everybody. What are we going on right now? We are at 1 hour and 37 minutes right now, so getting close to the 2 hour mark right now. And yeah, appreciate you guys sticking around and hanging out. I'm not sure what that means, Kenneth. Reading PS. Yeah, I see you there, bro. For sure. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, and you know, that's something I kind of wanted to touch on too, that not necessarily the paranormal, but just in general, is that, you know, I do try to keep a healthy balance of content. I noticed a comment the other day that said, you know, your locations are really interesting, but, you know, we don't really want to see all this travel that you do beforehand. And I feel like, you know, for everybody out there that likes a certain thing, there's probably somebody else out there that doesn't necessarily like it. And so I just sort of keep a subject matter that is close to what, you know, my own desires are, and then try to make everybody sort of happy around that. So like with the paranormal stuff, sometimes there's going to be paranormal, sometimes there's not, you know, sometimes there's going to be me traveling to the location and sometimes there's not. And, you know, sometimes it's going to be highly artistic and have music and crazy cuts, and sometimes it's going to be really gritty and have GoPro footage and be really raw. And so I try a little bit of everything because that's what I like anyway. And so I find that trying to just keep that balance also gives everybody something to watch. And so, you know, if it's one of those videos that you don't enjoy, that's absolutely fine, and, you know, feel free to skip that one, and most likely the next one coming up might be something that you like too. And so that's my philosophy on it. You know, I just try to do a little bit of everything, you know. But yet, like I said, at the same time, still staying within the 539 lane. Thank you, Manya. But yeah, I do appreciate the comment though, and yeah, I want to let you guys know that, you know, I do read the comments on the videos, and I do pay attention to that and keep it in mind. Aside from the style stuff, you know, what I look like is what I look like, and I'm never gonna pay attention to opinions or anything like that. My hair color is always going to change. My clothes are always going to look the way I want. And, you know, I know I get some comments sometimes about different hair colors or pull my pants up or do this or do that. And it's like, you know, that stuff I don't listen to, but at the same time, like, I appreciate all of your comments. And again, I understand that some people don't say it necessarily seriously either, so it's not a huge deal. And if that's you, that's fine. That's if you're just saying something jokingly, it's cool. But yeah, like in terms of like constructive criticism, I appreciate that. I do take that into consideration. Some people like footage that is slower and gives them a chance to check things out more. Some people like to sort of be more stimulated and have the quicker cuts and things like that. And so again, it's hard to please everybody. So I just kind of sit there and do what feels right to me. I watch through the video, and if I don't like how quick something happens, then I slow it down. If I don't like how slow something is, then I speed it up. And so what you see is just pretty much for the most part, what I feel is the best possible version of that episode. I agree, Manya. Yeah, and me too. Yeah, it's weird, but yeah, it's surprisingly a lot of people do legitimately make a point of caring about it. I don't know why. I get lots of comments about my hair. I get lots of comments on the clothes. Not lots, I shouldn't say lots. Most of the comments are positive. I would say probably 95 to 98% of the comments on the channels are all positive. Or are positive. But anyway, those last 2 to 5% though can get pretty crazy. Anything from, well, I mean, pretty crazy. People have some interesting opinions and get angry at some interesting things. But yeah, I've been told numerous times to change my clothing, change my hair color, change the location of my pants, not have ripped pants. Occasionally people don't understand the alternate angles of filming, so I'll get, and not to make fun, I don't want to make fun of anybody, but like sometimes I don't understand. People ask me like why I film my shoes, and I'm thinking that all I'm doing is doing some B-roll and showing different angles about what the place looks like from all angles. So thank you, Matthew. I appreciate that. I try very hard to make good content. Charles Evans Cemetery in Reading, Pennsylvania. Again, just one of those things. When I make it out that way, I will certainly check it out and try and make it into an episode. I don't have any specific time frame for when I'm going to be making out to Pennsylvania. However, since I am trying to make it out to the east part of the United States this year, that is definitely a possibility. I will be in the eastern Kentucky and Virginia area at a certain point, so maybe it'd be a possibility to head over from there and check out a few locations while I'm out that way. But yeah, it's just my travel is somewhat random, so I talk about possibilities a lot of times on the streams, and sometimes that's going to happen in the exact time frame that I talk about, and sometimes things are going to happen, and scheduling is hard, so it can change. But yeah, I definitely will try to make it out there. Yeah, well, I think I've had a few people ask me that too, Emmy. A suit and tie. Yeah, there we go. Some people might. Born to be Wild. Good to have you. Yeah, lots of historic stuff in Virginia. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. Again, I would love to make it out to New Jersey. I feel like there's a lot of cool things to see in New Jersey, and a lot of people sort of pigeonhole it just into the uh, the uh, the city and the shore. Thank you, Kenneth. Appreciate that. Yeah, good to have you here. Thanks for joining us. I know it's getting pretty late, so to see a few new people popping in still is awesome. I'm not wearing my glasses tonight, so I actually have to lean in to read things. Other than the chat, which I've had at like 170% zoom since the beginning. Well, since the first crash. Which I was really scared. YouTube has just been acting really weird. We had the really strange crash of the creator studio. None of the creators were able to very few creators were able to get into the creator studio or go live. And then it's been since they've been fixing it, it's been randomly logging people out. So today I was just literally checking on some of the videos that I watch from accounts or from channels that I like to watch, and it just in a fraction of a second I had hit play and I was in the middle of watching the video and it just signed me out and made me sign in completely again. But it didn't make me enter my password again. It told me sign in, and as soon as I hit sign in, it just said pick your channel, and so I picked 539 Productions and it went right back to it. So it made me sign in, but it really didn't make me sign in, so I have no idea what's going on. So I'm just hoping that they're getting things figured out, because it's getting a little strange. Philadelphia. I have a special location in Philadelphia I want to do one of these days. I don't feel like I'll ever be able to do all the locations that I have marked. One of these days I should show the map that I have of all the locations that I have marked across the United States and elsewhere. I know it's hundreds at the very least. And then I realized that every time I eliminate 2 locations, I probably add another 4. A lot of times on the road while I'm going to film those locations, I'll see a few new things and mark them on the map, and so it never shrinks. Yeah, we've all been in the middle of it. It has been Panic City. For a while there, at least. I think everybody's sort of over it now, but it was touch and go for a minute there. I remember I was scared. I thought I lost both my channels till I went on to Twitter and I saw that Omar Gosh had tweeted that, is anybody else experiencing problems because I can't log into anything? And that was when I found out that it was a site-wide problem and not just me. So for a moment I thought that I had actually been locked out of both my channels, because I was having all kinds of weird issues. I need a clone. Yeah, probably. That would be very helpful. One for editing and one for traveling. Maybe another one just to have fun. The Venus Flytraps, yeah, they're still doing well. They've actually gotten quite a few bugs recently, and so they actually don't look very well right now because they're in sort of a transitional period. They've got a bunch of new little baby heads popping up, and a lot of the older ones are dying back, so it doesn't look the best right now, but it's actually doing pretty well. It's liking where it is to a certain extent. Is there a light coming off my mic? I'm sorry, I think I might have missed something. Oh, oddly, somebody just asked that earlier, Kenneth. I've never really had an official partner. Adam did videos with me for a very, very long time. There was a very, very brief moment in time where we had thought about partnering up, but it never really worked out. And yeah, but in terms of 539 Productions, that was the channel that I started myself in 2015. So, but I did have a lot of great people that helped me out and helped me get the channel started and helped me travel and explore and occasionally film. And yeah, Adam decided not to do the whole social media route. He decided to go back and to do the marketing thing. And so he has a pretty good career in that whole side of things, which he went to college for. So again, more power to him there. But yeah, it has always been sort of my channel. It's never really been a collaborative effort. Although Adam did do a few episodes by himself, so I will give him credit for that completely. But all the editing has always been me. All the artwork, all the music, everything that you see on the channel has been pretty much me. But I did have, again, a few people help me out, including Adam and James, who helped me with filming and travel and exploring too. And so definitely give them a lot of credit too. So and James is still he doesn't do YouTube anymore, but he does I guess sort of B movies, not B movies like you would think of, but the professional side of B movies. So yeah, again, the only movie that I know of that, or know the title to, that he worked on is called Kingsbury, but it is literally based on and filmed at a location that has been on 539 Productions, and he was in the episode, and then went on to create a movie with as far as I know, a fairly famous B movie creator and producer, as well as I guess I don't know exactly who they are. I know I've seen them, but their title that they are known for is like Hollywood's most famous extra or something. I don't know exactly the whole story behind it, but they apparently found James and wanted to make a movie around the location that we went to, and so there's apparently a B movie out there called Kingsbury, and that was literally inspired by 539 Productions. Hey there, Savannah. Welcome. Good to have you. Glad you took the chance to pop in and say hi. Amy's Crypt, yeah. We follow each other on Twitter. She does a lot of interesting videos. Yeah, that would be helpful, Debbie. I don't know. I don't want to make a video about it because I don't want to make it into something that it's not. It wasn't like a super dramatic thing. It wasn't like, a bunch of drama or anything like that. It just was two people pursuing completely different paths, So, I mean, it really, there's not much to it, There's no drama there. I do like both, Santa, but like recently I've been liking doing more collaborative type stuff just because it's different. And I feel like the more I grow as a YouTuber, the more I enjoy those interactions with other people that do what I do. It's a lot of fun, It's fun to be part of the community, you know. But to a certain extent, well, not to a certain extent, there will always be a healthy mix of both. I really love that no matter how much fun it is to be with other people, and I think the other people will agree with me too. I'm sure that Xavier would say the same thing. I'm sure that each of the guys from Urban Ghost, Urban Exploration would say the same thing because they do it themselves too. They do literally on their channel challenges where they're alone, and so there's something to being alone and doing it alone. There's that feeling that you get that you don't get when you have the almost the safety net of having somebody else there with you. There's that safety net, that feeling of having somebody else there to go through it with you. Joey's Adventures. Yeah, we also follow each other on Twitter. I talk with her and Michael Scott a lot. But yeah, I like a healthy mix of both. Again, just like everything, But yeah, again, there's that cool kind of almost sort of as a rush in sort of some way that again, you're all alone in the middle of nowhere, and you're going on this adventure and trying to find something, and no one else is there to help you, and no one else is there to support you, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. Even when I'm in the middle of the woods, or miles from my car, I really there's something about it. It doesn't really bother me either. It's not scary in the moment either. At least for me, even when I was doing the nighttime episodes where I would just be walking around in complete pitch black in the middle of the woods, I don't know what it is, but it doesn't. Once I'm there, it doesn't bother me. It's the more the initial. It's scary to think about getting started, but once I'm out in it, it doesn't bother me to be alone in the middle of the different situations like that. I have been trying to do longer episodes. I don't know about necessarily trying to challenge Urban Ghost, Urban Exploration style 50-minute long videos. I don't know if I'm going to start doing that necessarily, but I will definitely start trying to have some videos more in the half an hour range for sure. I did try that the other weekend. I know that it was only a 1 episode weekend, but I was kind of just trying to test out how the longer episodes worked and see if that was something that everybody enjoyed. So seems like everybody seemed to like it, and I got a decent amount of views, so I'll probably do a few more longer episodes coming up here. A lot of times it does just depend on which location I choose to film to. Obviously, it would be a stretch to do a 40-50 minute long episode at a location that's as small as some of the locations that I've done recently. So it can be a little bit hard in some places, but when it comes to the bigger locations that I'm going to be doing here coming up here, there's a definite possibility that instead of doing a bunch of 15-minute long episodes, to do a few longer episodes instead. So, but I do want to try and stick to the 4 episode a week schedule at this point. So I mean, whatever works best, really, Aiden's Escapades. I have no idea what that is. Are you saying, and my? Maybe it was an autocorrect thing. That sounds like a really amazing band name. If it isn't, then I definitely want to start a band named Aiden's Escapades. Yeah, I agree. It's good to be out of your comfort zone. I feel like that does that. There's something in us naturally that wants to be around other people, especially in situations like that, where you're out in the middle of nature. I think there's something that says, when you're in that situation, bring somebody with you just in case. And so being able to break out of that and go out on your own and explore these places and to conquer that fear I think it's healthy. Okay. I'll have to check them out. Yeah, I would love to go to Arizona sometime. I actually missed out on going to Arizona. I was going to go that way and check it out after I went to Nevada. But again, I had the driver's license issues, and so I had to rush back. So kind of put a damper on all that. Otherwise, I was going to come back Route 66, and I was hoping to pass through Arizona, go through Texas, and a bunch of other states, and I ended up missing out on a lot of things because of that. So I'll have to just rectify that the next time that I'm out. Night girl and the curl, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, it is getting a little bit late. We are getting... I think we just now passed the 2-hour mark. Yeah, we just passed the 2-hour mark a couple minutes ago, so not too bad of a stream. Honestly, again, I figured we would have crashed by now, but yeah, I've been cooling down the command center. The temperature has dropped dramatically in the rest of the room, and so I'm hoping that maybe it was just I let the temperature get a little bit out of control, and maybe the computer didn't like it. So now that we've dropped in temperature, maybe it's cool again. I don't know. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are enjoying the streams. I enjoy doing them. I think they're an interesting platform, interesting way to connect with you guys on a different level that I don't get to do in the 539 episodes. And so, yeah, I like to take the chance to come and hang out with everybody. And, of course, it gives me a chance, too, that, if somebody's commented something and I've accidentally passed over it and missed it, that, you guys can, have a chance to ask me here. And, of course, obviously there's off-topic subjects that sometimes people want to talk about, or things that you want to know that are about me, maybe that are not anything to do with travel. And so, yeah, there's a unique opportunity for us to hang out in a completely different capacity. Yes, yeah, the Cryptid Hunter was the one that I worked was Xavier that I worked with in Nevada there. Buying a Hummer. You never buy anything that the military doesn't even want anymore. That's all. That's my only opinion about that. The military doesn't even like Hummers anymore. That can't be good. Hey there, Roy. Welcome. I agree, Emmy. Yeah, it's interesting and a lot of fun to connect with everybody and to do it on a more personal level, to be able to have a conversation. A lot of 539 productions, although I really love it. It's a great channel. I couldn't be happier, and it's unfortunately, though, in a lot of ways, a one-sided conversation, and just me presenting material to you guys. I mean, I guess that's not really unfortunate, but it does make it interesting to be able to come over here and do a completely different format, and to have it be so connected in a way, even more so than the premieres. Even in the premieres, there's some disconnect because, we're still all just huddled around a screen watching my episode. And here, at least, even though I'm the only one on video, I mean, at the same time, there is direct interaction, and I can respond to you guys' questions as you ask, instead of, when I can get to them. Thank you, Emmy. Yeah, I will look them up on YouTube the next time that after I get off the stream here. I haven't. Surprised I haven't heard that. Maybe I probably have seen it, because I've seen a decent amount of Omar's videos. I don't know if I saw the Arizona trip, though. I don't remember if I saw anything there. But yeah, I'll look that up for sure. I appreciate the suggestion. But yeah, I'm always looking to get together with new YouTubers. I wish there were more people in my area. There's just, unfortunately, so much space in between me and a lot of these people. And again, if they do exist, I just don't know about them. I don't know. I've never... I think I've only ever run into one person ever that I thought might be a YouTuber. And I remember it was just the other day, actually. I was heading to a location, and I remember traffic was slowing down in the middle of the not the country, but in the middle of the woods, basically, on this road. And I looked ahead and saw that the car was slowing down because there was a couple of people walking around with cameras, and it was a location that I was familiar with, and I thought maybe that they might have... I think I actually did I can't remember if it was on here or on the main channel, but I did a small episode. Oh no, it was the main channel. It was a location that I had done on the main channel, but I'd never ever seen anybody do any filming there before, and I thought that maybe, just maybe, they had actually seen my video and were sort of inspired to go out to that location and do their own filming there. But I never ended up figuring out who they were. I've heard of that channel. I've never checked them out before. I'll have to look at that. But yeah, it does get harder to have as personal of a touch the more people that you have. The same thing with music, playing at a club is very personal. Playing in a stadium is a whole different animal. I agree. I mean, yeah, I wish I would have known about stuff like this a lot earlier. I would have started YouTube many, many years ago. I think it's surprising and encouraging in a lot of ways to see the types of platforms that, or the types of directions that entertainment can take on a platform like this. It shows you that without the sort of natural reins of mainstream media, and their idea of what might be popular and what not, what might not be popular is not necessarily always true, and a lot of that additional content can be incredibly popular, incredibly viral, and stuff that you would never see a TV station even dare to put on its broadcast. So, I mean, there's a guy that I think is a millionaire for licking things. I don't know how many millions of subscribers that he has, but like it's a lot. And his whole premise is that he literally, if it's a window, it's a building, it's the ground, it's a shoe, every episode he just runs and licks something different. And he's like super famous. Super chat. Yeah, I actually am going to be doing we'll be, since I passed the 1,000 mark, enabling super chat on here, so that will be a possibility. Yeah, I don't know what his channel name is, but that's literally the premise of the channel, though. I mean, it is a comedy channel. It is for the purpose of being gross. I mean, it's not like a weird, yeah. It is supposed to be like that, and so, but yeah, again, I mean, there's just so many weird channels out there. I mean, not necessarily weird, but just very unique content that's incredibly popular. Oh, yeah, the toy channels get so ridiculous. Yeah, it can get frustrating, Debbie. I agree. I've had that happen to me as well. I'm going to give it a few minutes here, and then I'm going to at least take a quick break here. But again, thanks to everybody that is still hanging out with us here. I know I don't really give any warning, or, yeah, sometimes people schedule them. I'm not really good at that. And so, yeah, it's probably something I should work on to at least let you guys know what's going on. No problem. Born to be Wild, yeah. That's absolutely cool. We'll know that you're watching there. You're with us in spirit. The Haunted Junkyard? I'm not sure that I've seen that one. Or maybe, I don't know. Which channel was that on? I remember going to an abandoned junkyard on my channel. Yeah, well, I just now got to the bottom of the water. I haven't been drinking too much water tonight. Although I should probably drink more. No notification. Yeah, there are a few occasionally that still don't get the notifications, and I don't know why. So it's confusing. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't know. One of these days here really soon we'll get it figured out finally and get those notifications out to everybody. But yeah, unfortunately, at some point, the only thing that YouTube can do is to respond to each and every person that's having a notification issue. Like, for some reason, me just telling them that my notifications aren't going through doesn't fix everything, and so they did fix a lot of it, but it's still not 100%. Thanks, Savannah. Yeah, you have a good night too. Yeah, there will be no pounding of the Red Bulls here. To haunt me. That would make sense. After all the haunted locations, I guess I should have something haunting me. Yeah, so I'm gonna be trying also in other like updates and news. I'm gonna be trying to do more streams here, like on the way home from filming or while I'm out on the road, things like that. I was again trying to get a setup going where I could stream and have the camera mounted on my car, and it just seems that no matter what equipment I use, it never will stop the vibration. And I don't know. I just have to keep experimenting around with different mounts and trying to get it so that it's actually watchable. And it might be the iPhone. I've come to the conclusion it might just be the fact that it's on the iPhone, and whatever image stabilization that they're using is just causing it to have this weird wavy effect, and I don't know what to do about it. So I don't really know. I might have to maybe see if anybody out there is having similar issues, and who knows, there might be a tutorial even on YouTube of somebody telling how they fix the issue. So maybe I'll look that up and see, but I don't know. At any rate, it was completely unwatchable. It was so bad that even on my tiny little iPhone screen from across the car, because I had it literally to the point where there was even no way that I was going to be able to read the chat, but it was so bad that I could tell from there that there was no way I was going to continue the stream, so I just killed it. So, yeah. Thank you, Kenneth. I appreciate that. I've had some weird YouTube dreams, yeah. I don't think I've ever dreamt that I was live, though. Not yet. It has not become that much. I don't think I do it enough yet to actually dream about it yet. But I have dreamt numerous times of doing videos for 539, doing collaborations with people, doing weird and strange locations, having bad things happen while filming. It's all kinds of crazy stuff. Well, I'm pretty happy with the iPhone that I have. I have the iPhone 8. It's a pretty new phone, pretty good phone. It's literally the phone that is broadcasting this video. I say video because my Mac is broadcasting the stream, but the phone is what the is the camera that I'm using currently. So all the video that you're seeing is currently being piped through the iPhone. So the quality is amazing. It's the image stabilization that's causing an issue on the road, and I might be able, since it's fairly stable being fixed to the windshield when it's mounted, I may be able to actually just turn off image stabilization. So that's probably what's causing my issue. It's probably trying to stabilize an image which is already fairly stable, and it's getting confused by the vibrations of the car. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely have had some weird YouTube dreams. But I don't know. It's hard to define the difference between a nightmare and just a really strange, bizarre dream. I don't know how to categorize the YouTube dreams. But I don't know. I suppose they're just sort of my mind's way of dealing with things that I think of in my relationships, different people that I've collaborated with, and all kinds of things. It's difficult to explain, but usually it's not necessarily horrible things happening, as much as like if it's on my mind enough that I'm working with somebody, then I'll have a dream about that, maybe, you know. Yeah, I've always been happy with the iPhone. Yeah, it works really well. It's a great camera. At least for video. I don't really care for the still images. They're okay, but they're just slightly soft. Oh yeah, the forward focus. Yeah, it gets really good gas mileage. Although I heard that they killed it recently. I don't know that they're actually gonna make the Focus anymore. I heard that was one of the lines that Ford was killing off. Yeah, dreams are strange. I think dreams make reality strange too, because dreams make you realize that you probably really wouldn't know the difference between a dream and reality if it really came down to it. Like, we pretty much just dream everything. It's just all electrical signals. So in a weird way, like, the difference between dreaming and reality is not as far away as it seems. At least distinguishably. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be so far out of the realm of possibilities. I mean, after doing the meet and greet in Alabama with UGUE, I definitely could see having dreams like that. I don't remember having any group dreams, but yeah, it could happen. Ford Escort. Yeah, I remember the Escorts. I've had some weird dreams where I've had the dreams where I've woke up and then woke up again. You wake up and you're still dreaming, and then you eventually wake up and you're not dreaming. That's kind of that's jarring a little bit. But yeah, I had that happen for the first time fairly recently, within the last year or so. But I've always had some really bizarre dreams. I can never understand anything in my dreams. There's very rarely any logical timeline to anything. I don't think I've ever had a dream like a movie. Everything's constantly in flux in my dreams. Characters could be one person 1 minute, and the next minute they're another person. I could be in a school one moment, and then the next moment it's a shopping mall, and there's no distinguishing moment or line in between them. It's just suddenly the dream morphs into something that it always has been, that sort of concept where you don't really realize that it changed from one location to the other. You just assume that you've always been in that location, and so that's sort of like what my dreams tend to be like. They're just sort of like this mismatch of weird random TV shows or something like that. That's the only way I can really explain it. Yeah, I've definitely had. Yeah, I've had the screaming. Yeah, where you try to scream but you can't scream. More so when I was really young. I don't know what it was about being young, but when I was a kid, I had that a lot. I rarely have had any dreams where I wasn't able to move. I've had a couple, not very often, but that would be very scary. Oh wow, yeah, that I can imagine that would be something that you would or something that would affect you for life. Yeah. But I mean, that's amazing though. I mean, definitely deserve credit for that, for sure. Not many people have what it takes to be any sort of rescue worker or anything like that, and that's a huge role to take to run towards the danger. Whoever sleepwalk, not that I know of. I've never woke up in a place that I didn't fall asleep in, so no, not that I know of. That would be scary though. I had a friend once. His brother would sleepwalk so much that he had to have a special doorknob. The doorknob was like, I don't know what the whole point it was, but it was super cold, and supposedly the cold would wake you up efficiently. I don't know why that was, but like that was what he had. It was an air conditioned or a refrigerated doorknob, I guess. I don't know. That was what they told me anyway. Maybe it was complete BS, I don't know. But yeah. It sounds like an incredibly scary event though. So, yeah. Okay. I'm going to take a quick break here. I need to stretch a little bit. I've been standing in the same place for too long, and I'm beginning to get a little bit fidgety, and I can feel it in my feet. So I'm going to take a break, maybe get something else to drink besides just the water. I don't know if I have anything else here. Speaking of that, that could be an issue. But yeah, give me about 5 minutes here. I'm not really planning to take off and go anywhere, and I know in certain streams I've gone long enough. Excuse me, got literally a hair in my eye. Okay, got it. Okay. Anyway, I know I've done streams before where I've literally taken off and gone to like the gas station or something in between, just because I was bone dry on anything here. But don't think that I have the need to do that tonight, and I'll probably just suck it up and do water if I don't have anything else here. But at the same time, I am going to take a quick 5-minute break and be right back and hang out for a little bit while longer. And yeah, so I will see you all here shortly. And ooh, this could be tricky. This could be real tricky. I can't go to the... Hold on just a second here. That could be a real issue. I just realized that I can't go to my... I don't have my pause screen set up yet, and... Oh, there's Oh, nope. So that was what I was worried about. If I go to the... Oh, you guys are probably wondering what the heck I'm talking about. I just realized that I'm in a different mode on my studio software, so it probably wasn't changing scenes for you guys. Usually when I go to break, I change to the on-air soon screen, which is now the static screen with the My Story logo, which is also the video that seems to be driving my computer to the brink of utter destruction. And so if I click on it to go to break, it may crash absolutely everything. So I'm not really sure what to do at this point. Plus, I'm starting to see a little bit of lag in audio. I don't know if you guys are experiencing that as well. But, I think what we will do for the moment is we'll go back over to the Twitter screen. I can't even do music now, then, can I? Wow. This is disappointing. Yeah, I was just trying to not be boring about the pause. I was hoping to do something, at least music or something interesting, instead of just walking into the background. Yeah, I think we'll just switch over to the desktop for a second, and maybe there's got to be a fun image that we can put up here that's not boring. Let's find something artistic, really semi-artistic. I realized how little photos I actually put on Twitter anymore. Yeah, this is pretty much useless. Alright. Got it. We'll do tomorrow's thumbnail. And I'll just plop it over here right in front of the videos. And then that'll serve as our break screen for tonight. And you guys can get a little bit of a preview of tomorrow's thumbnail if you haven't seen it already. Although it is on Instagram. If anybody follows me over on Instagram, you've probably seen it if you've been on there today. But I'll go ahead and put it up here. Sorry if I'm ignoring the chat, guys. Why not leave it on the studio? Oh, I just personal preference. That's all. Oh, let's see how this works. Oh, not as bad as I thought. It didn't size it right. I don't understand even if it is. I understand why it sizes it due to the resolution of the image. It may size it a little bit bigger than the actual screen. It's still a little bit confusing to me why it does it. Anyway, there's tomorrow's thumbnail. I'll go ahead and leave that up here. I will be back in about 5 minutes after I take this break. But I am going to kill the audio here for a second and be back. It will be silent. I don't have any music or anything, but I think it'll be alright. Although I could probably just add one of those real quick. Here we go. Perfect. I'll see you guys in a minute. All right, guys. Kind of back. Although having a little bit of issue here again. Not wanting to let me read. Sorry, guys. It remuted itself. I think because I kept hitting the button on my Stream Deck and it wasn't working. But I think when I finally disabled the music, the additional processor power kicking back in allowed it to quickly mute and then unmute and then however many times I pressed it, I don't really know. But yeah, so now welcome back. Matt is in his mid-30s. I'm assuming the sound is back now, though, because it should be back now. I appreciate all those people who have warned me about the no sound, but if there's still no sound... Okay, that's good, because I was going to say, if there's still no sound, then there's nothing I can do about it. Because according to my system, I am all on at this point. Both my audio board, my Stream Deck, and my system is saying that I have it. So, yeah, it looks like we're back. Again, I think it was just that weird glitch there for a second. I kept pressing it, and I think it finally kicked in, and, like, the button went on and off and on and off like 5 or 6 times. So, appreciate it. Thank you guys for letting me know. Yeah. It is going on 3 in the morning, and I'm not really exactly sure where to go from here. Did I graduate in 2002? Yeah. It'd be like the 3 a.m. challenge of streaming. Just whatever time you start, you just stay on till 3 a.m. and then quit. Do I like Gatorade? Yeah. Gatorade's good. This is actually tea. This is Lipton. But I do like Gatorade. I drink it occasionally, especially after I've been hiking for a long time. It's real good. The witching hour, yeah. Although some people say it's I always hear these weird, random... Some people say it's 3. I think 3 is by far the most popular. But then there's weird rumors around 4 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, midnight, and then like 5 a.m. Like those are like the hot spots for like weird rumors and urban legends and all kinds of different things. Sorry, I keep squinting, guys. I should probably put my glasses on, but I'm resisting. Yeah, I can imagine, because I usually stream for quite a while. So, yeah, I mean, what's really weird is that recently these streams have been short in comparison to what I first did when I started streaming. Like I said, I've done some. I think 10 hours is the longest now. I want to say that it was 10. It was 9 or 10. But I'm pretty sure I've done a few different 9-hour streams before. What's my pick, or like picture, or like my pick for witching hour? I really wouldn't know if. I've honestly, I don't really think I've ever noticed any real difference in specific times at night. I don't know. I mean, things do at a certain point get really, really eerily quiet. But like, I don't know. I don't know if I can attribute it to anything paranormal, or who knows. Oh, I think I'm mixing up some internal conversations here. All right. There is some really weird YouTube hashtags streaming trending right now on Twitter. Apparently, a lot of people are tweeting hashtag Jake Paul, please buy Tana a car. Not sure what that's all about. Wasn't expecting that. YouTube's been trending a lot lately, though, especially with that little debacle a couple days ago. It was all over the news. I don't know if it actually made it on the television news or not. I don't know if anybody actually saw it or not, but when all the creators got logged out of Creator Studio, that really made some waves. I actually have wanted to do like some like late night streams like that. I had intended to do like some camping streams. I still haven't had a chance. I mean, I have the chance, but like if I do something like that, I'd like to do it like with like a group of people, so that it was really interesting. And but yeah, in reality, I actually have thought of doing like some like outdoor late night streams. I don't personally have like a personal account that I actually use. I just have like an account that I log into to administrate the 539 page. But other than that, I don't actually use Facebook for anything. Like, I literally sign on to, like, check out a few of my Explorer friends, like, recent videos, and then I'll, like I said, respond to comments, post things on 539 Productions page. But, yeah, I'll check you out, though. Like, I can look it up, though, for sure. But, like, I don't really use it to communicate with people. I've added a few other creators on there, but even then, I've never once actually used Facebook to ever get in touch with anybody. I think by the time I end up working with people, I just give them my phone number, so. Oh no, yeah. I think it means Tana. Tana's a YouTuber for the famous from if you ever heard of the term TanaCon. She's one of the YouTubers that created a festival that didn't go so well. Well, awesome, thank you, Matthew. Yeah, I'll look you up on there. Like I said, I don't really use it personally, but I mean, I'm sure that you can figure out something. So let me I'll copy that down so I can look that up. Because obviously I'm sure it would still let me chat and everything, so. I need to perfect this setup just a little bit. Oh, that's no fun. Very strange. I'm having some. My computer is hating me tonight. I need to figure this out. Well, I hope I am still streaming. It has crashed my browser. Oh no, that's fine. Twitter's fine. Weird. This is just. Maybe my computer's haunted. I don't know. Send me a message. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll check into it. Yeah, it seems to be getting pretty jumpy right now too. I can see the video jump, and I definitely looks like the audio is not in sync, at least for me. I don't know if it is for you guys. Hey there, Faye. Welcome to the live stream. The quite possibly incredibly buggy live stream right now. But I'm getting lots of issues. I'll try a few things here. Try and divert some resources. Oh, wow. That didn't help. There we go. Yeah, I am managing to keep it on the, just on the edge of madness, I guess. It's like teetering just at like the 89 to 90%. resources mark. So I'm going to have to look into it. Something's running away on me. I don't know what it is. So, But thankfully, it hasn't happened until now. I mean, at least it wasn't being super, super buggy for the first part of the stream. I guess it happens. But I'll have a new computer hopefully here soon. Something I'll be upgrading here in the next few months. And then it shouldn't ever be a problem again. Alright, I don't think there's much else I can do at this point. Oh. Alright, well, it seems to be at least stable for right now. But again, I'm not really sure exactly where to take the stream from here. It's pretty much kind of running its course anyway. Not really sure if anybody had any other questions, anything else that you guys wanted to talk about or whatnot. Like I just woke up. It's because of the angle. I'm staring off in this direction. Really, I should be looking at the camera. But I'm like rearranging everything to try and figure out this. So I have the chat over here now, which is completely wrong place and about 2.5 feet away from the camera. So I'm like literally looking the wrong direction just to read the chat now. And yeah, it's been a crazy night. At least for my computer. It's not having fun. It is certainly suffering now with system resources. So it's something I'm going to definitely have to check into and figure out what I can do, at least for the short term until I decide to upgrade everything. But yeah, I apologize because now I have all of my information, all my chat and everything so far away that it just is going to look really weird because I'm like doing this when you guys are this way. So that's weird. All right. Yeah, okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and just call it a night. I could go on to 3 a.m. just sheerly to make it a 3 a.m., but at this point, I don't think there's really any reason. I think that I'm pretty much out of things to say at this point, and I don't know where to take it from here, to be honest. So I think I'm just going to call it a night. I do appreciate everybody coming and hanging out. It's been a pretty cool stream, despite the fact that we've had some different issues with the tech. I don't know what exactly, again, is going on. I thought it was just it having the problem with that little new intro video with the static. And it turned out that it's actually seems to be a little bit deeper of an issue here. Maybe it's the new Stream Deck. I don't know. I don't think that the Stream Deck's using up that much system resources. So confusing. Sorry, I'm looking at my stream deck if you guys are wondering why I'm just staring down at nothing. But yeah, frustrating, but yeah, I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out though. I am getting a little bit tired, yeah. I mean, it's 3 a.m., so is pretty normal. Although I am a late nighter, as a lot of you do know. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. It's been fun talking with you all and hanging out with everybody. And I appreciate those of you who have stuck around this long. It's been actually not that bad of a stream. We've been going now for, what, 3 hours and 6 minutes, so not too bad. Not the longest stream ever, obviously, and not a 10-hour stream, but definitely pretty good, I would say, despite everything, like I said. So hopefully next time we'll have this technology stuff figured out, so I don't feel like the intro screen is really doing itself justice when it's taking up pretty much all my resources and getting all jumpy. It's really kind of a cool intro screen, and so I would love to be able to show it to you guys when things aren't going awry. So at any rate, I am going to be trying to do more streams more often here, as well as the episodes. I do have another episode that I've been slowly working on here, so hoping to get out soon. It was kind of surrounding doing like an office tour / plant tour, but I've been changing things so quickly that I kind of had to take a step back and realize that I needed to wait and just start filming again once I'm all done with everything. So that'll be coming out here soon too. So and maybe a few other episodes that I've been sort of thinking about and have in the works. So yeah, I'll keep you all updated again. You can check out any last minute or up to the minute, I should say, updates over on Twitter. And then again, hopefully I'll be doing another stream within the next few days or so. But appreciate you all being here. Thanks again, everybody. And hopefully you all have a great rest of your night or a great rest of your day, depending on where you may be here on this planet. So thank you all. Thank you, Faye. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Emmy. Thanks, Matthew, Manya. Am I missing anybody? I'm scrolling. I think that's everybody that's still here and chatting, at least. If I missed anybody, I apologize, but have a great night. Good night, Jed, or Jeh. I'm not sure how you pronounce your name. But yeah, appreciate you. Thanks for coming, and I will see you all in the next stream.